Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews. The date at the time of this recording is November 3rd, 2020, and here in the UK we are on the precipice of entering a second full national lockdown for a whole month beginning on November 5th. Lockdown 2 is officially happening.
Because let's face it, baby, these days you gotta have a sequel. Ah! Ah!
And with that in mind, and my feelings that I need some full-scale cheering up, I have decided to do a monthly special on classic action movies, mainly featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger, but with a healthy dose of other classics thrown in there for good measure, such as this, the brilliant sci-fi action classic, Demolition Man.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Don't make me destroy you.
Released in 1993 and directed by Marco Brambilla in what was his directorial debut, Demolition Man stars Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes and Sandra Bullock. The film was initially staged in a bleak, immediate, near-future, gang warfare-riddled 1996 Los Angeles. Stallone is the heavy-hitting LA cop John Spartan, who utilises excessive and brutal tactics to win and subdue criminals, often destroying public property in the process to brilliant effect. Snipes is the mad dog maniac crime lord Simon Phoenix, who Stallone has been hunting for, and when Phoenix kidnaps a busload of 40 hostages, John Spartan goes in guns blazing to rescue them and finally bring Phoenix down.
Send a maniac to catch one.
Unable to find the hostages, Spartan corners Phoenix, who sets off an explosion which completely destroys the building, and in the immediate aftermath, all the hostages' bodies are found amongst the rubble. Spartan is charged with involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to a lengthy prison term alongside Phoenix in the new cryo penitentiary, a prison designed to freeze convicts and subliminally rehabilitate them. I almost got that word completely wrong there. Subliminally rehabilitate them. Fast forward to 2032 and Los Angeles has become San Angeles, a peaceful society with virtually no crime. At Phoenix's parole hearing, he escapes,
Teddy bear.
appearing faster, smarter and stronger. The police, now merely just there for show, are unable to deal with him and turn to the now legendary John Spartan for help.
We're police officers. We're not trained to handle this kind of violence.
He is thawed out, and despite being completely at odds with everything he sees, Spartan quickly determines Phoenix's next moves, uncovering a conspiracy along the way which threatens society as a whole, before a final showdown at the cryo facility. Now, the film debuted at number 1 in the US box office, amassing a $58 million gross, and was widely seen as a success both financially and indeed critically to a degree. In point of fact, the film was marketed as somewhat of a comeback for Stallone, who had seen poor results from several of his works prior to this film. It was praised for its satirical edge at the time, and the action was largely seen as being ultra effective and frenetic. Couple this with some perfectly placed elements of humour and sharp dialogue, and the film became an instant cult classic. Demolition Man's success comes from the brilliant amount of imagination and self-aware wit that it harbours throughout, the satire, and indeed the idea of a clean and uniform society being the stuff of hilarity at the time of release now oddly reflects many of the current notions that we are dealing with at present in 2020. Social distances, meetings through screen interaction, refraining from personal contact, sanitary products, and general cleanliness is something that is in sharp focus both in the film and is something that resonates now more than ever in the 2020 world.
Sir, I formally convey my presence.
How you doing?
We are not used to physical contact greetings.
And as coincidental as all that is, it gives the film some sort of credence, especially given that the film itself almost has a timeless feel due to the further afield 2032 setting. Yes, okay, some of the elements are tremendously dated, some of the presumptions in the film never came to pass, like a huge earthquake in San Francisco or wherever it's supposed to be, but the smaller details about societal advancements remain tracking in those directions. How long will it be before we become a cashless society given everything that's going on? How long will it be before we all have tracking implants in our hands? Who knows? This is all conspiracy and we're going to edge somewhere into a dark territory that I don't want to go, but you get the idea. The film has a brilliant level of technical skill associated with it. Some of the shots and photography, especially in the shift from a war-torn 1996 to the shiny metallic 2032, gives the film an incredibly high level of production value that in some ways has maintained its allure to this day. Practical effects are what win the day as well, which solidifies the impact of the action sequences that you see, which pack much more of a punch than many of the action films on release these days. Obviously not this year because nothing's come out at all, but the plot itself might well be thin in a few places, but the quality of the performances from Stallone and Snipes sell even the most ludicrous moments of the film. Stallone is remarkably funny and sells the fish out of water dynamic throughout, nailing the tongue-in-cheek moments from other characters whilst providing that stoic, hard-nosed presence. The 3 seashells joke that Stallone doesn't get throughout the entirety of the film is one of the best moments that he showcases in that comedic light.
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
Snipes, on the other hand, is in the form of his life, which is, for me, it's probably his finest performance. Equally funny, but extremely intense. Snipes showcases all the action movie skills that fans wish they could have seen more of in the years following. Indeed, it is likely to suggest that the performances paint over many of the cracks in this film, but the overall experience of Demolition Man is still an all-out enjoyable one. A huge highlight on anyone's action movie history chart. It has everything: humour, explosions, gunfire, people smashing through windows, diving through fire, and most of that comes within the first 5 minutes alone. Demolition Man is a classic and a worthy film to return to for any action junkie. And to start off this month of action movie madness, which I encourage you to join in with me. Pick out an action movie, get it watched, let me know your thoughts on the Facebook page or follow me on Twitter and message me there. But get it going, bring some fun into your life, bring in these classic action movies that are more tongue-in-cheek than they are serious now when you look back on them. But this was a little fun review of Demolition Man. I'm not going to put a score to it because I think it's a classic, but this is just for fun, obviously. So thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.